go live to Los Angeles now, where we can get the latest on an incident that's happened at an anti-Iranian regime protest. So there was around 600 people protesting the current Islamist regime in Iran. A truck careered into the crowd. As far as we know, there are 2 minor injuries, no fatalities. But this is the moment the truck went into the crowd. Take a look. Well, that's astonishing footage. I mean, you have to think, judging by that, it's lucky that, as we know so far, that there are only 2 minor injuries. Witnesses said that truck, it's a U-Haul truck, which is basically a rental van for people to move houses. They said that the truck barreled towards protesters waving Iranian flags. The protesters were anti-regime. They want the Ayatollah out. They're in support of the protesters in Iran. They want the Islamic regime out. But this truck that careered into the crowd had a message on the side. It had a large banner taped to its side reading, "No Shah, no regime, USA, don't repeat 1953, no Mullah." And 1953 is, as Simon Hankinson has explained, is the CIA MI6 operation to overthrow the...
I don't remember the exact date, but it was around that time. I'm assuming that's what he's referring to as the overthrow of the president.
Footage now on your screen shows the moment that the truck came to a stop. Protesters were seen in other clips dragging the driver out of the van, and the driver is on the bonnet of the truck fending away angry protesters. He's being bashed with, I think this is the clip here if you're watching on telly, trying to whack him with flagpoles, trying to punch him. We understand the LA Police Department have since arrested the person driving the truck. We can see he was probably a male, and we'll wait for more information as we get it. But as it stands, 2 minor injuries. Luckily, so far, no fatalities. But you have to think, with that message on the side of the van, that this was a political attack. So there's the U-Haul truck in the crowds there. If you're just tuning into the Late Show Live, a crowd of around 600 has been targeted by a man driving a truck at Iranian protests in Los Angeles. More as we get it.
This interruption is brought to you by ExpressVPN and their New Year deal. New Year, new VPN, and a huge saving of up to 80% if you act now. You're busy planning how to get in shape, but the hackers are planning how to get into your accounts. ExpressVPN locks down your connection so you can start the year protecting your data. So scan the QR code or click the link in the description now.
Breaking news this morning from Los Angeles is that a truck has careered into a crowd of around 500-600 people in LA. Those people were protesting the current regime in Iran, calling for them to go. A rental truck, careered into the crowd with a political message on the side, seemingly in support of the current regime there, the Ayatollah. These are live pictures now from Los Angeles. The Daily Mail is reporting that protesters tried to pull the driver out of the van. They were smashing windows, trying to punch the driver in the face, but police now have apprehended the driver, and we are awaiting more details on the number of injuries and maybe, potentially, but I hope not, deaths as well. The Daily Mail reporting that law enforcement officers eventually pulled a man from the vehicle and took him into custody. As police escorted him away, protesters were seen trying to punch him and strike him with flagpoles. There was, Simon Hankinson, a message on the side of the truck which careered into the crowd saying, "No Shah, no regime, USA, don't repeat 1953, no Mullah." And there was an Islamic Iranian flag apparently on the side of that U-Haul truck. What's your take, your first reaction to this?
My reaction is that I'm shocked that there's someone who is a full supporter of the Iranian regime living in the United States. I shouldn't say shocked. I'm not surprised, and that would be my guess. I can't see any other reason for someone to take an empty rental truck and run it into a bunch of people, presumably trying to hurt them. In the last couple of years, we've had an open border. We know that many Iranians have come in, some of them fleeing the regime, but some of them possibly agents or people who are supportive of the regime who are coming here for other purposes. So, you know, we're speculating now, but this isn't something that shocks me. It's probably predictable based on the fact that we've let in millions of people about whom we know absolutely nothing the past few years. Having said that, this guy could have been living here 50 years and just got upset that the Iranian regime is looking like it's going to topple.
Same issue in the UK, by the way, open borders, we don't know who they are, where they're from. What does USA don't repeat 1953 mean? That was a message sprawled on the side of the truck. What does that mean?
Well, he's saying that he doesn't want the Trump administration to do what the Eisenhower administration did, or maybe the Truman. I have to remind myself, back in the 50s when the United States made every effort to topple the prime minister, the socialist prime minister of Iran, and after which the Shah was installed as the ruler until the revolution in '79. So he's saying, that the message would seem to be USA, stay out of Iran's business, and he supports the regime.
Yeah, got it. Victoria, LA Police Department are saying they're investigating the possible motive for the driver's action, noting the writing on the side of the van. LAPD said no ambulances were called following the incident. There may only just be 2 minor injuries, which I guess with a crowd of 600 people is pretty good going.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Hopefully that number does not tick up. Hopefully there's no further injuries that are reported out of there. But again, I think this just goes to show that we have no idea who is in our country. This is something that conservatives, Republicans, namely, have been sounding the alarm on for years. Of course, this was a key point of Trump's first campaign, was the border immigration. It went on all throughout his first term. And then, of course, the Biden administration let down. They let their foot off the gas. They let numbers of people through without proper vetting. And I think, unfortunately, here we're seeing the consequences of this. But I also think it's important to point out that, hopefully the approach from the Trump administration is going to be one of empowering the Iranian people to make decisions for themselves, whatever that may look like. I think there's, again, as I kind of talked about earlier, there's apprehension from Congress about Trump going too far. He already had the strikes on Iranian nuclear sites just about 6 months ago, last summer. And so, the big question is, what can he do without putting boots on the ground? Even your kind of more neocon types in Congress, even people like Lindsey Graham, who love a war, who love military intervention, even they don't want to see boots on the ground, at least based off some interviews that I saw Graham doing today. So, again, I think Trump's team is going to present many options in front of him, but, hopefully the president picks the right one that sends a message, but also doesn't entangle the U.S. in conflicts, because, his base doesn't want the U.S. involved long-term anywhere in the world, and they want the focus to be here domestically.
I'm just looking at some video on social media, which I hope we can show you viewers at home. So the driver was pulled out of this truck by very angry protesters, and he is basically standing on the bonnet of the van, swatting away protesters who are trying to strike him with flagpoles. They're trying to punch him and get to him, but the guy is standing on the bonnet of the car, the truck, basically taking refuge from this baying crowd. We'll endeavour to get that to you very, very shortly. But as it stands, no confirmed fatalities just yet. Hopefully it is just a couple of minor injuries, but we'll get that footage to you shortly, and any other major updates as it comes into the newsroom. So just to reiterate, if you're tuning into the Late Show Live just now, a truck has ploughed into a crowd of around 600 people in LA who were protesting the current Iranian regime. So there are anti-regime protesters. They want the Ayatollah out. This truck came careering in. It had a pro-regime message on the side, and there are, as it stands, just a couple of minor injuries. But any more updates, I will deliver them to you as we get them.